Yo, what's up, homies? It's your boy LowTide bringing you this brand new video, and today we're back playing some more Lake of Voices. It's been a while since I've played this game, and if you guys remember, because if you're new here or not, I have played through Lake of Voices, so this is going to be very much a quick cut through sort of thing. We're going through this game again and getting different endings and seeing what's different with this. After this one, after this turnaround, when we beat it this time, it'll be a lot faster, and I'll show basically only the deaths and stuff, because one, it's taking too much time, and two, really after this, it's the same. It's going to be like almost the same story, except for the small differences of Bemilly dying, which we did, and Margaret dying, and Lou dying. So it's always going to be in between those three, and I'm pretty sure the guide maybe once or twice. I don't think so. I've got the bad one with the guide with him dying one time already on the first actual playthrough, so probably, you know. So other than that, let's just go ahead and hop right back to it. I have the history page pulled up because I forgot what the fuck was going on, and it's the best page, so I don't accidentally click onto the next fucking thing. All right, this guy is basically, I think we just woke up, or we just going to sleep, if I remember correctly. Yeah, as the color seems to drain from the world, being consumed by the fog, the guide makes his appearance.
It's almost time.
Okay, and this is also after we all had our good little calm before the storm, having good old chit-chat. I nod and feel myself grow tense. We truly are about to return to those bridges where we have lost one already. All of us wait in uncomfortable silence until night falls. We suddenly stand as one, forming a vigil of sorts. Our remaining lanterns illuminate the dark, prepared for tonight's journey. I wonder if we're gonna have the same issue as we did when we had Bemilly, because now we didn't piss off the guide. Let's see how much of a difference it means when we didn't piss off the guide. It also means that with this next situation, if we don't, the same thing happens and the guide still gets hurt, that we won't have the option to pick him up and carry him. That was Bemilly's idea, so he's gonna take his medicine here. And as long as he takes it in increments, which we know from me fucking up getting a very bad end the first time around, that's how you get the good ending. You have to let him, don't let Bemilly carry him, let him take his medicine in increments, and he doesn't lose his fucking sanity. And yet the way forward does not appear. The bridges haven't risen from the depths, so we're still having the same issue with the bridges. I glance to my side. The guy doesn't look at all pleased. The corners of his mouth have a harsh bent as he briefly loses himself to heavy thoughts.
We must go to the shore.
Okay. I also wonder if we're gonna have, hopefully, if this situation here goes still smoothly, because it is different people. He doesn't offer an explanation for why. Instead, he goes on without us. I follow after the guide, my forehead creasing with swelling worry. Behind me, I hear Margaret and Lou's unsure footsteps. The four of us press onto the shore. The dark waters lap at the edges of the sand. As expected, the maze is still hidden beneath the surface. The guide grips his staff still, his knuckles turning ghostly white. He sucks in a breath of air like he's about to speak, but he hesitates. We all stare at him expectantly. After a moment more, the guide is fed up with waiting.
Bridges are late. If they don't arrive as soon as darkness falls, there's no telling exactly how long it will be before they do.
Okay. Lou doesn't say anything, opting to stare at the ground with an obscure expression. Do you believe we will have enough time to cross?
Time is by far the least of our worries. On the bridges, we are constantly moving, which makes it easier to avoid the prowlers. However, this island does not offer that luxury. We're trapped here.
Mm-hmm. My body goes rigid as his words sink in.
More importantly, the bridges are raised above the waters. Nixie have difficulties pulling themselves up onto the bridges. The soft sloping of the shore will allow far more prowlers to drag themselves towards us. Not all will be as dangerous as the ones we've encountered thus far. However, we could easily be overwhelmed.
A pit forms deep in my stomach. I stare at him aghast. I had no idea the situation was that dire. I glance from the waterline to the trees. What I'm looking for, I don't know. A sign of what might be to come, perhaps. Yep, because it's easy. Like, anybody can pretty much go on the shore and just climb up. It isn't like it's a hard cutoff. Margaret moves into discussion. Her mood is rapidly declining as well.
What should we do? We shouldn't stay on the shore if the monsters could be coming towards us at any moment.
The guy closes his eyes and suddenly looks very worn down.
Staying in the center of the island is the safest option. However, there's the risk that we may not be able to reach the bridges when they do rise. Prowlers could have taken full control of the shore by then.
I'm going to save real quick. I'm hoping that they give me a choice here. If they do, then this is actually going to be a lot different than the other one.
Remaining here with our lanterns will ensure the Prowlers cannot move freely.
My brows involuntarily knit together. I don't like the sound of taking additional risks in an area that is already so dangerous, but our options are
I will
thin.
not be kept on this island for another day, so the shore is where I will be. You may wait at the edge of the forest, or even at the center of the island if you fear being attacked.
Okay, I wonder if this is going to be different, because the two reasons, I don't think we had a choice last time. The two reasons why they ended up staying at the top of the hill, or up there by the forest, was because Bamili also agreed. Lou, on the other hand, might not.
If the Prowlers come between us and you fail to make it to the bridges, I will leave you behind.
The guide has made his decision, and we must make ours.
If you were staying by the shore, perhaps I could be positioned somewhat further back from you. And then the others could stay further back
same thing.
still. That would keep us safer, without having any major gaps of darkness between us and the shore.
I'd say that's likely our best option, and we don't have time to come up with any other way regardless.
Fine.
Lou, don't be just agreeing with random shit. Settled on the matter, the three of us began to move forward from the guide. Lou doesn't need to be in the back. But I don't want Margaret in the back either, because Lou doesn't care about his life. But Margaret's not on edge. She is, but she's not the kind of person to be like alert, if you know what I'm talking about. Settled in the matter of the three of us, he pays little attention to us, instead silently fixing his eyes on the water. Like, this fucking bridge better hurry the fuck up. I take my place in the middle of the shore while Margaret and Lou hover closer to the island's core on the line between dirt and sand. After getting a sense of where they are, I turn my gaze ahead. At first, I think I'm being fooled by the fog that are several white dots playing along the edges of the water. Dark globes begin to surface, and I see them for what they are, eyes. So many white, dribbling eyes, gleaming sharply against their pitch-black bodies as the Nix bob up and down. They surface and disappear in a loop, each time more sets of eyes and closer, surveying us more intently. Then they cackle. The sound is atrocious, gurgling, then turning high-pitched sound as they seem to take full stock of us. The lights in their eyes somehow even brighter as the first of the Nix, or Nix, dig their claws into the sand and begin dragging themselves upon the shore. I plant my feet firmer. A shrill shriek pierces the air, accompanied by a telltale hiss. Now, last time, this was either Bamili or Margaret, one of them noticing that there was a Nixie who snuck up behind them and was in the forest. So, hope in the same situation. Except they didn't get grabbed. I whip my head backwards towards the sound, only to be greeted by cold black darkness. I cry out desperately into the void where Margaret and Lou stood.
What happened?
There's silence, then the best sound possible. Margaret's voice replies, albeit shakily.
There was a prowler in the woods. I didn't notice it until it was already too close to me. I dropped my lantern when I saw it. The light was enough to drive it away, but now it's gone. Shattered.
Last time, what happened? It was the guy had a lantern, and I think I had one. Same situation, I'm pretty sure. Alright. I swerve my head back to make sure the shore is still clear, before I spin over to release them from the darkness with my own light. Margaret stares down at the ground dejectedly when I arrive. Lou stands nearby. He avoids eye contact by awkwardly looking away as I approach it too closer.
Make a small fire for light.
Yeah. Margaret sniffs loudly.
That may work for now. But what will we do once we're back on the bridges?
You both are gonna have to do what I did. Oh yeah, that's right. Different timeline. You guys didn't know that happened. We're gonna have to do a pattern. You know, I'm in the middle, you two next to me, and watch your asses. Cause you know the guy ain't gonna let one of you guys be next to him, cause he's a fucking. I was about to say introvert, but I can't say that because I'm an introvert. So it ain't an insult.
We will manage.
I speak firmly, trying to assure her. I can't even guess how effective the attempt was. Yep, and then she's over here crying a little bit.
Blue,
I just not noticed.
Space while I gather kindling.
Give me a second. I just not noticed all that. I still have my mouse on. I have my mouse on from playing the Magic. I think it's best to see my mouse when I'm playing Magic because then you can see what the fuck I'm about to do move wise. Lou, please go. Okay, there we go. Finally turned my fucking mouse. Alright, Lou looks startled at suddenly being addressed, but quickly nods and gets to work pushing away the leaves on a small patch of dirt. I was about to also say that I'm getting better at actually speaking English, but as soon as I did, I instantly butchered a whole bunch of like words, so it ain't happening. Margaret moves to help him, though she still looks terribly upset. I feel awful. It wasn't her fault. Yeah, we dig a few inches down into sandy soil before making an edging with the rocks to stop the fire from giving us a repeat of last night. I layer the fuel quickly and light a match at the base of the pit. Margaret stokes the fire with Lou looking on. The grass ignites easily and showers the area with enough light to keep anything else that may be lurking in the forest at bay. I release a discreet sigh. We're truly lucky no one was injured or lost during this ordeal. I keep that thought to myself. However, hearing it would only make Margaret feel worse. Yep.
You should go back to your position, Kika. It will all be for nothing if we can't make it onto the bridges in the first place.
Will do, girl.
Right.
I force myself to sound
I'm going
bold.
to get through this.
Margaret attempts to smile at me. Lou views her empty expression for a moment before turning to move towards a nearby tree. He easily scales it. And absolutely puzzled, Margaret and I watch each movement as he lifts himself into his branches.
There's not much of a chance any nixie will get a hold of me here. They won't climb.
I said that last time. I said, can you just climb on top of a tree and you wouldn't have to worry about shit? I was like, make a fucking tree house with like a light or just a tree house, and they wouldn't be able to get you when you're in the tree. Now, the only bad part is we think they can't climb, and we don't know how tall they are, and there's a small chance that he gets grabbed while in the tree and he might die on the way there. Now, of course, if Lou dies here, Margaret will survive there, which is the same exact ending that we got last time. I'm trying to get as many people. This time we're going to try to save Lou and Margaret. Hopefully I can do both. I would rather get both. I don't want to just do one. And then of course we're going to slowly keep trying to get more and more people. I'm hoping there's one ending where you get everybody. I'm about to like reach out to the developers and see if they were like, yeah, there's an ending, and then I'm about to fucking go back to this game and spend like 2 billion hours in it. I figured there's okay. His voice is lighthearted with an easy confidence.
I won't bother trying to argue with that logic.
Yep, as long as you can get down from that tree in time, you'll be fine. Margaret has shaken off some of her sorrow, being in a better mood now. I smiled to myself. I'd like to believe that Lou will truly be safe from those predatory creatures this way. With the two of them doing as well as they can be, I cautiously back up to my original position. I return my full focus to the shore as we fear this is becoming a pressing situation. More prowlers rose from the water while my attention was on those two. They're surrounded the guide on both sides. The only way to gain distance from them would be to delve further into the island. Yet the guide shows no signs of giving up his position. Same as last time. He remains where he is, resolved to keep all monsters near him in sight. Okay. I'm gonna skip around a little bit because this is the same.
Most important. Consider retreating.
Same exact words.
I cannot do that. Nixie recognized signs of weakness.
Yeah. These lows are exactly the same. But if I do lose the lantern, especially after Margaret lost hers only a moment ago, then watch. That's a smart move. If we throw the lantern, we're ultimately all fucked. Because the guide's not gonna fucking help. I can't act rashly here. The guide has managed to, okay, yep. Without flinching, the guide keeps As I scan the forest, there's a stinging groan. What was that? It can't be the guide. I stand rigid in shock, a painful, prickling sensation going down my back before whipping around to face the truth. He's crouched low on the ground. Okay, this is the same thing as last time. He's hurt, which is going to require him to take the medication in increments, of course. The rest of us remain strong as well as we've survived this night. Given my lantern, I watch over everything and everyone in sight vigilantly. And we're supposed to be like the leader of the group. After an untold period of time, the water begins to stir. There's an unusual gurgling, a sound I never thought I would be this relieved to hear. Slowly creaking, the bridge make their nightly appearance. I'm gonna say it again. I think I said this last time. You have no idea how tense this situation would feel. Like, it would be like, even if this was like 30 minutes, it would feel like an eternity. It would feel like 4 to 5 hours. So no, this is an overwhelming, cruel environment. This island had felt like a safe haven such a short time ago, but this has been twisted to the point where I am grateful for a chance to return to the maze, and we may not even reach that. More nixie are breaching the water and wrenching themselves onto the sand. The guide signals to all of us. Alright, let me go ahead and save just in case I fuck this up. So we know here that we should have the option to throw, I think it's a torch, because Margaret be on her A game, which is why I like her the most. We have desperately little time before we'll be cut off from the guide. I looked to my lantern. Will this light alone be enough to cause them to disperse? Margaret cuts straight through my thoughts. Yeah, she got a torch again at least. Okay. She advances towards me, holding onto a heavy stick with the ends set on fire as a makeshift torch. The sight is striking.
It won't last long. We need to get through now.
I could probably save and get a bad ending if I wanted to right here, but let's not do it. We'll do that another time.
The smoke spewing off this thing is making it even harder to see than usual. So you tell me when it's time, Kika.
Gotcha.
I can do that.
I'm gonna do it like last second. The shore approaches closer and closer, and every single one of the nixies turn their attention towards our small group. Now, after alerting Margaret, she gives her all to hurl the flame ahead of us while avoiding setting the bridge itself on fire. The monsters flee from the torch. Our path is clear. We waste not one moment sprinting towards the bridges. With the others near my side, I amble back into the maze. We don't stop until there's a considerable distance between us and the shore. It is there where we encounter the guide. Upon seeing his figure, I hide a sigh of relief. We haven't been left behind. Our arrival doesn't change the guide's empty expression. He doesn't say or do anything, instead allowing us all to catch our breath. Lou looks as though his legs might fall from out from underneath him.
Normally, I wouldn't ever say anyone on these bridges are lucky. But we are.
Yeah. Margaret chimes in equally as amazed and exhausted.
I don't know how we managed to do nothing wrong. That feels far more fitting for this journey.
We treasure the moment of triumph for a little more before the guide ends his silence.
We need to start walking. We've already lost much time as it is.
I'm actually good with this trio because Lou is well, he isn't as bad as he was, but he's the way the group's thinking morale wise is a lot better than last time. Last time it was almost cocky. This time it's oh, we were lucky. Hopefully we can keep that same luck till we get the fuck out of here. We need to start walking. Okay. Almost as soon as he finished his statement, he stumbles, nearly falling back down. His hand slipped down the shaft of his staff. As he sinks to the ground, he gasps under his breath.
Are you alright? Is there anything we can do? I don't have much, but I could still clean and wrap it.
I take a few hurried steps closer. I reach my hands out towards him, which he curls away from like a barn cat. Or like a fucking vampire with the light. He turns his gaze up to me and shakes his head.
I tended to it myself when you were still on the shore.
Moments tick by as I stare at him, growing ever more nervous. As horrible as his injury is, the larger situation at play is die for all. It is a weight bearing down on each of us, threatening to bring the entire group to its knees rather than only our lead. We can't stay here.
Are you able to walk?
His eyes, his feet with gritty teeth, and clenches his staff tighter. Now, if he has to, this time, because Bimili was being cocky. Now, with Lou or Margaret, it's probably gonna be Lou if a situation does arise. If he doesn't want to be cocky and he's alright with someone touching him, because we didn't piss him, we pissed him off last time. This time we didn't. Maybe he'll let Lou come up with him and help him walk, or Margaret, someone other than me, and I'm gonna be back here with someone, which is a 2-2 pattern. I think we'll be fine like that. Now, if we gotta do a 1-3, we can do it, but you know, it'd be better because we're gonna have an issue later. Alright.
Not like this.
A beat of quiet passes before he continues, his voice slightly ragged.
A way. It will be enough to get to the other side.
Shaking, he removes his hand from his staff and reaches his cloak, searching for something. He retrieves a small vial with a Vacaeus liquid inside. Swishing it okay.
Drinking this will numb the pain.
Save point. I gotta save on the save station. Alright, now this is gonna be a different point. I analyzed the vital hesitancy. Okay.
Is that safe?
Are we still gonna have a question here?
It must cause
not question.
Have some kind of
Are we still gonna have?
Not to mention, pushing it so hard when it's in that state could permanently ruin it.
He regards me as his lip twist part way into a snarl.
My leg isn't broken. It will heal without issue once I am able to treat it. In order for that to happen, however, I need to live.
Yeah, you might need to. I flinched slightly. He wouldn't usually snap at such a question. The pain must be truly getting him.
That is good. I'm still not clear on what the side effects are. We must be prepared for whatever may come.
Now,
It can slow reflexes and cloud the mind.
I've already died from him, taking it all, so I'm gonna make him do increments, which is what you decide here. I look at him nervously. I'm not at all comfortable with the sound of that. Margaret quietly gasps, bringing her hand to her mouth. Lou gazes on with an empty expression on his face. The guide heaves another sigh, though the pain in it makes it sound more akin to the groan. He is still impatient with the group's delays as time marches
I'll
on.
only be taking half a dose. It won't ease all of the pain. However, it will reduce the odds that I will be notably impacted by any adverse effects.
I know how you feel about others coming close to you, but is that truly the best solution to a situation like this? You need to be clear-headed here.
Margaret looks at the bottle, then at him skeptically.
Can't walk without it.
One of us could help support you. Even if you worry over another person being nearby, putting up with...
She said it. Yes. Yes. Seems more reasonable than losing sense of what's going on around you. He doesn't look at Margaret at all as he pries off the cork. Now, here's the problem. So after this, later on in here, which is the huge death part of last time. So later on, if you continue after this choice, there's a point where the bridge is really, really thin. Now, here's the problem. If you have 3 people in, what's going on, not that. Okay, when Bimeli was carrying the guide, which would be very similar with supporting him, but we're not carrying him. When Bimeli was carrying him, he had to put him down, and this is when he took a full dose, which made us die because he took us down the wrong fucking path. Now, that could happen again, but at the same time, it also couldn't. If, let's say for whatever reason, he's like, okay, now since we're both here on this thin goddamn bridge, you know, would they both go across it? Because he's not trying to carry him, obviously, they're just supporting each other's weight. Or would he take the medicine later on and take all of it like last time, which would make him take us on the wrong path and 3 of us die. Well, 4 counting the guy. So that's the question now. Or do we let him take it, and then we run into the issue where I had with Bimeli and Margaret, which is all 3 of us tried to cross the bridge at the same time, which we had to because of the lanterns, since they need the light as well. And when we did that, we had a weight issue. So it's going to be in between the one or the other here. This time, let's try... I want to try the support, but I don't want to trust it. He doesn't look at Margaret as he pries off the cork top of the vial and downs a portion. Okay, so he already did. Okay, Margaret can't suppress the surprised cough that escapes her mouth.
We were still discussing this.
Okay, so no choice in the matter. The guy continues to not acknowledge her at all. Margaret silently fumes to herself over the ordeal. Lou looks down at the bridge quietly, still almost entirely uninvolved in the events involving him. Okay, well, never mind. I thought we could have a choice. The guide softly rests his forehead against the side of his staff. His eyes droop slightly as he relaxes his muscles briefly. He waits patiently for the medicine to kick in, forcing the rest of us to do the same. Okay, well, shit, never mind. After a brief pocket of time, the guide's labored breath steadies and he slowly picks... Okay. Finally, he addresses Margaret's point.
The odds of making a mistake with my reflexes dulled is far lower than the odds of something going wrong with one person holding up another who can't even stand on their own.
You got a point.
If the bridges start to sink, if we're attacked, if one simply misplaces their footing and slips, both people will likely go down together and never get back up.
You're right.
And as I've stated, we've lost a great deal of time. No one could carry my weight without being slowed down.